I am back with another What Did I Complete in the Last Month video. This is a video I do every month where I talk about all of the movies, dramas, anime, American show, anything that I completed, that I watched in its entirety, and now I talk about it. I talk about my ratings, I talk about what I thought of them, would I recommend them, so on and so forth. If you are new to this channel, I watch Asian dramas. I watch all Asian dramas. I watch everything. So like, subscribe, share, watch more if you are also a lover of Asian dramas. I also run a podcast. We are here to talk about everything I completed in October. Disclaimer, I will be spoiling some things in this video. Usually I try not to, but I need to talk about some problematic things that I disliked about certain dramas, and they are huge spoilers for the plot of those dramas. When I get to the dramas I'm going to talk about with that, I will put another spoiler disclaimer, so if you want to watch those dramas, you can skip that section. Timestamps are in the description, but there will be spoilers in these reviews in this video. Normally, I do not do that, because either I make another video that is just a spoiler-heavy review of that drama itself. I don't like spoiling stuff for people unless there's a reason for people to form their own opinion on certain dramas, and maybe they don't want to be spoiled. For me, with spoilers, if you spoil, oh, this person dies, or this person is the culprit in the crime thing, I hate those type of spoilers. But the spoilers of, oh, they kissed in episode 5, I don't mind those types. Some people don't mind spoilers, some people love spoilers, some people depending on the kind of spoilers like me. So just FYI, there will be spoilers in this video where I normally don't do that. So, how was October for me? October was a mix of stuff. It was a mix of currently airing dramas that I completed, as well as dramas that I was watching that I needed to get off my current watch list, or dramas I needed to finish for podcast episodes. It was a mix of dramas and anime. It was a mix of various countries from Korea to Japan to China. It was a mix of genre. We have some dramas that I completed that were crime dramas or romance dramas. We had a mix of feeling. I loved some of the dramas I completed in October, and some I did not like. They were okay. At least I didn't hate anything I was watching. I also didn't drop anything this month, which is nice. Let's get into it. First drama I'm going to talk about is an older drama. I had to watch this for a podcast episode, which I did complete. It is Mysterious Lotus Casebook. It is a Chinese drama from, I think, 2023. I watched it on iQIYI. I think you can also watch it on YouTube. I rated this a 9 out of 10. I loved this drama more than I thought I would. I knew I would like it, but I didn't think I would love it as much as I did. I don't really know why that was, though, because looking at the setup of this drama and everything that's in this drama, there's a lot of things that I normally would enjoy in a drama anyway. So I really don't understand why I had low expectations or mixed expectations on if I was going to like this drama, because the fact that I rated this a 9 out of 10, which is a good rating for me, tells you I like this drama. So I really don't understand why I had that expectation going into it. I loved Cheng Yi's character. He was my favorite of the trio of this drama. Trio was a lot of fun. I love the bromance, especially the bromance between Cheng Yi and Joseph Zhang's character. I like Cheng Yi's character the most because I kind of pictured him as like a fox. He was very smart, but also loved playing tricks on people and kind of teasing Joseph Zhang's character. But he was also a very heartwarming character. You could tell he cared about a lot of characters and a lot of other people in the drama. I also loved that he was playing a younger version of himself in the flashbacks. And through his acting and styling and everything, it really seemed like a different person, which I was impressed by a lot, which I think showed how well Cheng Yi's acting was in this drama too. I didn't think there would be comedy, but there is comedy in it, and I thought it was well balanced. I thought it fit very well, mainly because it wasn't spread across a bunch of characters. Joseph Zhang's character was a source of a lot of comedy in this drama, and I think it fit his character well. If it had been Joseph Zhang, Chang Yi, the other guy in the trio, some villains. I think it would have been a little over the top and too much comedy for me, but the fact it was focused really on Joseph Zhang's character and then sprinkled in with some other characters here and there, I thought that balanced out really well. I did think the main villain was a little over the top. He was a little like comically maniacal to the point where I was like, does he really have to be that dramatic? I will say though, I did not predict the main villain. There was a lot of villains going up to this main villain, and I was trying to guess who the main villain was going to be. And I really did not predict it was going to be him, which was fun for me because usually I'm pretty good at guessing who the hidden villain is going to be. I was happy that I couldn't predict that he was the villain. Again, I'm not doing spoilers with that thing. I did think the drama was a little long. I thought they could have trimmed out some plot points, some characters, maybe a mystery, and cut down some of the episodes a little. I also would have liked a different ending. It was understandable. It made sense. The ending made sense, but I wish it wasn't an open ending. Even the special episode that they had at the end really wasn't satisfying for me. It wasn't 100% the ending I wanted, but the ending made sense from like the direction of the story, and you knew that ending was coming, really. It could have been a worse ending, but it wasn't the ideal ending, I think. I do not foresee this drama doing a season 2. I think I read somewhere that the source of material was all done in season 1. They would have to make an entirely new story to do a season 2. It's been 3 years already. I really just don't think they're going to do a season 2 at this point. I am a sucker for this setup, like wuxia drama, historical drama, fantasy, shansha drama, where a group of people travel across the world solving crimes and fighting bad guys. I might be a little biased with this drama because the setup is always something I like, but I still loved it, and I can see why a lot of other people love this drama. So I rated this a 9 out of 10 because I did have some issues with it. Next drama that I'm going to talk about is Tempest. This is a Korean drama. It's on Disney Plus and Hulu. I rated this an 8.5 out of 10. Maybe I rated this a little too high. I did enjoy it while I was watching it. I was obsessed with it, particularly a part of it. But I can see why some people did not like it. Some people will not agree with my rating of that. I enjoyed this drama for the main couple and for their romance. If you are a fan of that and you like romance and you like chemistry, please watch that drama for this. But really only watch it for that, for the surface level of that. Do not try to dig into this plot, because once you try, that is where everything kind of falls apart. And I agree with that statement. The chemistry was amazing. The main couple was amazing. I loved their romance. Yes, it was a little too fast-paced. It was only 8 episodes for this drama. I wish they had done it differently, maybe had more episodes. It became somewhat unbelievable given the pacing of it, but at the point that I was watching it, I didn't care at the same time because I just loved them so much. But I wish the drama had done more with their chemistry and more with their romance. Once you get past that romance part and the chemistry part, the political stuff and the political storyline did not make sense. It was not 100% clear. There was a ton of plot holes if you kind of went into it and you really dug down and tried to analyze everything. Nothing made sense. Ton of plot holes, huge letdown when it came to the rest of the story. This drama had big budget. You could tell. The action scenes were fantastic. As I said, the chemistry was great. They must have paid a ton of money for this cast. And I feel like when you have that type of talent, you need to have a drama that supports that talent. And I don't think that drama had that. Yes, the production was high, but there were plot holes everywhere. Everywhere. Nothing made sense when it came to the political side and the motives of the bad guys or anything of that sort. Was it well acted? Yeah, because you had a brilliantly talented cast. Not only the leads, but the supporting cast was also brilliant. But you can have the best actors in the world, but if the story doesn't make sense, you're not going to have a lot of people who like it. I wish some of the bad guys had different endings. I thought some of them had cop-out endings. I personally didn't mind the ending, and I'm not going to spoil it, because it made sense. Like, the entire drama, the characters were saying things and their actions were doing things to get to that ending. I foresaw that ending happening from a mile away. Did I like it because I was a fan of the couple and the romance? No. It was not the ideal ending you wanted, especially if you're watching this drama for the romance and for the couple. So I understand why other people did not like the ending. It was also an open ending. We don't know, really. You can take the open ending and make your own conclusions. Did we want 100% confirmation? Yeah, absolutely. But it was an open ending. So not the ideal ending that I'm sure myself included wanted, but it made sense to me given the actions and the dialogue. There were a lot of plot holes. There were a lot of plot holes in this. And I get it. You only had eight episodes to do it, but there were a lot of plot holes. If you want to watch this drama, do not try to look too deep into it. Kind of just enjoy the ride. Pick out things you like. Become obsessed with the lead couple like I was, but do not try to look too much into it because you'll find a ton of stuff you will dislike. That was Tempest. Korean drama. I rated this an 8.5 out of 10. The next Korean drama I'm going to talk about, this is the drama I'm going to do a bunch of spoilers for. That is Queen Mantis. So if you do not want to be spoiled on this crime drama, please skip ahead because I have a lot of issues with this drama. Which is one of the reasons why I rated it an 8 out of 10. It was a decent crime drama. Don't get me wrong. It was a decent crime drama, but there was a huge issue I had with it. It would have been a lot higher if this wasn't a part of it. Korean drama, you can watch it on Viki. Queen Mantis is a decent crime drama, but in my opinion, I've watched better. It could have been way better. Amazing acting, amazing acting. Go Hyun-jung, who played the serial killer mother, one of her best performances. Jang Dun-yoon, same thing. There was really good acting in this. There was two things why I can't recommend this drama for people. I'm not judging any people who watched it. I watched it, who might watch it afterwards. I'm not going to judge anybody on it, but there's two reasons why I can't recommend this. First off, every crime drama, whether it's Korea, China, whatever, you kind of have to have a stupid cop trope where the cops kind of have to be stupid for a while so you can make a drama of 8 to 16 episodes, because if they're smart and they solve the crime right away, you're going to only have like a 2 to 3 episode drama, right? Every crime drama has a stupid cop trope. In Queen Mantis, though, it seemed over the top. It seemed everything was stupid decisions and stupid bias, and it was so aggravating. The cops were blatantly stupid to the point where it was just dumb writing, in my opinion. I'm coming from a background of criminal justice. I do not pretend to know how to be a cop. I've never been one professionally, nothing. But it was like a common sense type of stupid, where, for example, there was this one woman cop especially, which of course they made the woman cop the stupid one, which they were all dumb, but she was really a thorn in people's backside. Of course they had to make her a woman, which one aggravated me already. But two, she made this stupid decision where she went to this criminal's hospital and for some reason took pity on the guy because he was in a hospital room and he got beat up by another criminal that she had a super bias towards. And she took handcuffs off the guy. And of course he attacked her again and got away. Why would you ever take handcuffs off a criminal? He was arrested for a crime. You knew he was guilty and you took handcuffs off of him. It was just stupid common sense stuff that basically was used to extend the plot. Could not stand that. Could not stand it because it was stupid decisions that really did not need to be there and unnecessarily biased towards people across the board in terms of the cops that were involved. If you have a plot where one of the cops that are on your team, his mother's a serial killer, there's always going to be bias. But this was over the top bias, like judgmental bias that I just could not stand. Another big thing, which is now going to be the spoiler of the plot. This is a remake of a French show, and apparently they remade the show. They literally did plot by plot by plot point remake. They didn't make any changes. So I'm not knocking the Korean drama for doing this. I'm knocking the French show, really. But the Korean drama could have changed this plot point too. They didn't, but they could have. And from what I could find online, the French show got a lot of criticism for this plot point too. So I'm not blaming this on the Korean drama per se. I'm blaming this on the French show, but you have to point this stuff out, right? Whether it's a Korean drama, China drama, American show, nothing. I hate when people do this. I've seen this before. a major plot point of the motive of the criminal, the main bad guy, when it's eventually revealed, how it was written and how it was presented in the drama is the main villain guy who's doing the copycat crimes endured horrible abuse when they were a child, and that caused them to want to change their gender. And so they became trans. And then they started killing again. I absolutely loathe when a drama uses homophobic stuff to justify a motive for a killer. This is not the first drama to do it. This is not the first show to do it. Case in point, this is a remake of a French show. The French show did it back in 2017, 2018. I mean, it's not the first American show to do it. Like, you could have taken the trans part out of this and still have the motive of horrible child abuse be the reason why this person became a killer. It was not necessary to have the trans storyline be in the drama, let alone the French show. And so the minute that was revealed, I could not recommend this drama, and that's why it's rated an 8 out of 10. It's a decent crime show. It would have been rated a lot higher for me if that was not the motive. For me, I had never seen the French show. I went into this Korean drama not knowing anything about the plot. So I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know that this was the story point. I probably would not have watched this if I knew that, because I know that type of motive makes me angry because I've seen it before in Korean dramas, in crime Korean dramas, in American shows, in other shows. It's not new. Again, I'm not going to judge anybody who watches this, but I can't recommend it because, and it's sad because it's actually a decent crime drama. The acting is amazing. The twists are good. The villain is a good villain until they reveal the background. And I can't recommend it with that. I can't. And I hate that I can't because Jang Dun-yoon is one of my favorite actors, and Go Hyun-jung was amazing in this drama, and she's probably going to get a lot of awards for her acting if this goes to like award shows. But I hate that motive. I hate it so much, and I immediately just can't recommend that crime drama. I just wish the Korean drama took the story plot out. It shouldn't have existed in the first place. The French show shouldn't have put it in the drama either. That's my rant. I can't recommend this crime drama. I watched it. It's an 8 out of 10. Probably should have rated it lower at this point with how much I've ranted about it. It's okay. It's decent. And even without that plot point, even if that wasn't there, it's a decent crime drama. I've seen better, though. I've seen better, I will say. It was a little messy. That's my little rant, my little first spoiler of the reviews. It is also potentially set up for a season 2. I don't know if I'll watch it. It also is very dark and sometimes really hard to watch. If you can't handle that type of stuff, I would skip this one. But I can't recommend Queen Mantis. I really can't. I completed 2 more things. Next thing I'm going to talk about is Kaiju number 8, season 1. It is an anime. I watched it on Crunchyroll, Amazon Prime. I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. I rated it a 9 out of 10. I was not anticipating the comedy in it. I don't know why. I did not watch a trailer before I clicked play. I just heard some good things about it and I clicked play. I don't know why I wasn't anticipating comedy, but I wasn't. And I liked the comedy. The comedy fit the anime, it fit the characters well. It was good balance between the fight scenes and the seriousness of fighting these kaijus. Love the male lead. He added a lot of heart to the anime, which I liked. I also liked his name, Kafka. If you have no idea what Kafka is, but it's a character from a book called Metamorphosis, and it made sense within this storyline. It's about a guy who's slowly turning into a bug. I had to read it in high school, I think. And Kafka, the character in the anime, he gets possessed by a kaiju bug that allows him to change into a kaiju in certain scenarios. His name made perfect sense. I wish Kafka had more moments with Mina. He had this motivation to join this defense force and be a good soldier and fight the kaiju to stand as an equal with her. And maybe they were drawing that out for other seasons because there is a season 2 of this. I wish he had more moments because his entire motive was her. And you could tell she also liked him and wanted him to succeed. And I just would love to have more moments with them. If I did not say, I love the found family. I need to go watch season 2 because now I'm curious what season 2 added to the story, if they gave more background to the characters or even the other characters, what new characters they added. I need to go watch season 2. But that was Kaiju number 8, season 1. I rated it a 9 out of 10. And last drama I'm going to talk about is a Japanese drama called Hold My Hand at Twilight. I rated this a 7.5 out of 10. I watched it on Viki. I wanted to like this more than I did. I loved the cinematography and lighting, the classic kind of cinematography and lighting we love from Japanese dramas. I love the OSTs, the fact that the male lead is a musician and a music producer. I love that they kind of matched the style of music that he was making in the drama to the OSTs. I love the OSTs. I also love the messaging. A huge message in this drama. People need to pursue their dreams and they could go and pursue their dreams. And if it makes you happy, you should do that. I love that messaging. It's about two people living in a shared house. So the found family is great. They're complete strangers when they meet at the beginning. And so they share this house together along with a landlady, and then their neighbors become involved and they become friends with a restaurant owner, and then his manager at his music company also kind of becomes part of the found family. So the found family is fantastic in this. But I rated it a 7.5 out of 10. I had some issues with the drama. I'm going to be doing some spoilers at the end. Not huge spoilers, but I'm going to be doing spoilers, especially with one particular character. So if you do not want to be spoiled on this, please exit out of the video or skip to the end. So I'll get the spoiler out of the way first. I had feelings about Sarah, the girl that was brought in to be his bandmate eventually. I don't mind queer characters. I love queer characters. I mean, I'm a lesbian myself. I love when dramas have queer characters, but I hated the fact that the drama brought in this queer character, made that great twist that I did not see coming, but then went down the stereotypical route that a lot of queer characters have been given in shows in the past, where you make them horrible people. And she did a stereotypical thing of basically keeping the leads apart for a lengthy amount of time because she was selfish. And again, they could have taken the queer part out of that and still made that her motive, and it would have been fine too. Like, why did they have to make her a lesbian and then do that storyline? Because we've seen that before. We've seen that the queer characters in dramas are given those crappy storylines and crappy motives, and then they do really crappy things as a character and they basically become the villain just because they're queer. I don't understand that. And I thought we've gotten a lot of progression in that when it comes to dramas or American shows, like any shows, any countries. Through the years, we've seen progression of how queer characters have been portrayed in a nicer light, in a better light, have been given more of a platform. And then to have this type of drama come out and have that be part of the storyline when it really was kind of unnecessary, in a lot of ways, it was unnecessary. It was disappointing. It was disappointing. I loved the twist that she was queer. She did this whole thing of miscommunication, and then they did a time jump that was unnecessarily. It did not make sense. Everybody had phones, and then she reached out 3 years later to explain the miscommunication. Like, why did you have to wait 3 years? There was a lot of confusing things when it came out with all of that stuff, where a simple conversation would have solved it. While I appreciated that they did add in a lesbian character, I didn't understand why that was necessary. Why did they need to make her a lesbian? Just to kind of be different, maybe? But it didn't really add anything to the plot except for a nice reveal and a twist. I didn't particularly like that part, especially with what her character did after the reveal, because again, it's putting a spotlight on queer characters and putting them in a bad light, which have been done historically in a lot of dramas, and I just did not think it was necessary. That was a huge thing on why I did not like this drama. But the other thing is, it was too long. I felt like it could have been 8 episodes, even 6 episodes even. I think they just like drew out the miscommunication and the romance to get to the 10 episodes. I wish there was more story with the male lead. It was clearly the female lead story throughout the drama, but I wish we had gotten some background with him because they gave some plot points. He has this weird relationship with his family, but they never went into it. They never described it. They never even told what his family makeup was. Did he have a divorced parents? Did he have parents? Did he have siblings? Nothing. They just said he has a strange relationship, but that was it. It really was more geared towards the female lead, and I wish we had gotten more with him. And also just them miscommunicating for the entire time. It was too much. It was too much. It was just easily they could have just picked up a phone. And a lot of the miscommunication just was confusing and was not needed, in my opinion. So that's the end of my rant for Hold My Hand at Twilight. I would still recommend it. It has like great fall and winter vibes. Their small, quiet moments in the shared house were great. I love the filming part of it. The sun flares and the cozy study nights and the cozy work nights in the house were really nice. The landlady is fantastic. I love her a lot. I would still recommend it, but just be warned, you're going to be frustrated with the miscommunication. It's so much. So much. So that was Hold My Hand at Twilight, and I rated it a 7.5 out of 10. There is another drama I'm planning on finishing by the end of October. I haven't started it yet, so I can't really review it. So I'll probably talk about it in a future video. I'll just say like, hey, FYI, I completed this drama. Here's my review of it now. I'm looking forward to a lot of the new November dramas, but I don't know what I'm actually going to be clicking play on, so I don't want to talk about them because they might just be on the back burner. My plan in November is to get a bunch of dramas off my current watch list, because even though I finished, 6 dramas in October, I still am watching 8 dramas or something. And some I've been watching for months, and I really need to just finish them or finally decide to drop them. I don't know. But that is everything I completed in October. Sorry, I kind of went on a little spoiler rant a little bit. Let me know what you watched in October. Let me know what you would recommend. Maybe I need to add something to my plan to watch list or immediately click play on it. We'll have to wait and see. Also, let me know if you want me to do a video of like what I'm looking forward to in the next month or so. I have never done that before. I have podcast episodes that have that in there. You can check out my wrap up episodes for that type of information. But if you want me to make a video of that, please let me know. But let me know what you watched. Let me know what you thought of my opinions in this. And thank you for watching. See you next time.